Marlon Brando, Jr., was an American actor, film director, and activist. He is credited with helping to popularize the Stanislavski system of acting, a cultural icon. Brando is most famous for his Academy Award-winning performances as Terry Malloy in On the Waterfront and Vito Corleone in The Godfather, as well as influential performances in A Streetcar Named Desire, Viva Zapata, Julius Caesar, The Wild One, Reflections in a Golden Eye, Last Tango in Paris, and Apocalypse Now. Brando was also an activist, supporting many causes, notably the African American Civil Rights Movement and various American Indian movements. He initially gained acclaim and an Academy Award nomination for reprising the role of Stanley Kowalski in the 1951 film adaptation of Tennessee Williams' play A Streetcar Named Desire, a role which he had originated successfully on Broadway. He received further praise for his performance as Terry Malloy in On the Waterfront, and his portrayal of the rebel motorcycle gang leader Johnny Strabo in The Wild One proved to be a lasting image in popular culture. Brando was nominated for the Academy Award for playing Emiliano Zapata in Viva Zapata, Mark Antony in Joseph L. Mankiewicz's 1953 film adaptation of Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, and as Air Force Major Lloyd Groover in Sayonara, an adaptation of James Michener's 1954 novel. Brando was included in a list of top 10 money-making stars 3 times in the decade, coming in at number 10 in 1954, number 6 in 1955, and number 4 in 1958. The 1960s proved to be a fallow decade for Brando. He directed and starred in the cult western film One-Eyed Jacks, a critical and commercial flop, after which he delivered a series of box office failures, beginning with the 1962 film adaptation of the novel Mutiny on the Bounty. After 10 years, during which he did not appear in a successful film, he won his second Academy Award for playing Vito Corleone in Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather, a role critics consider among his greatest. The Godfather was then one of the most commercially successful films of all time. Together with his Oscar-nominated performance in Last Tango in Paris, Brando became re-established in the ranks of top box office stars, placing him at number 6 and number 10 in top 10 money-making stars poll in 1972 and 1973, respectively. Brando took a 4-year hiatus before appearing in the Missouri Breaks. After this, he was content with being a highly paid character actor in parts that were glorified cameos, such as in Superman and The Formula, before taking a 9-year break from motion pictures. He finished out the decade of the 1970s with his controversial performance as Colonel Kurtz in another Coppola film, Apocalypse Now, a box office hit for which he was highly paid and which helped finance his career layoff during the 1980s. Brando was ranked by the American Film Institute as the 4th greatest movie star among male movie stars whose screen debuts occurred in or before 1950. Brando was one of only 3 professional actors, along with Charlie Chaplin and Marilyn Monroe, named in 1999 by Time magazine as one of its 100 most important people of the century. He died on July 1, 2004 of respiratory failure at 80. Early life. Brando had 2 older sisters, Jocelyn Brando and Frances. Brando's ancestry included German, Dutch, English, and Irish. His patrilineal immigrant ancestor, Johann Wilhelm Brandau, arrived in New York in the early 1700s from the Palatinate of Germany. Brando was raised a Christian Scientist. Brando's mother, known as Dodie, was unconventional for her time, an actress herself. She smoked, wore trousers and drove cars, all unusual for women at the time, and was even a theater administrator, helping Henry Fonda begin his acting career. However, she was an alcoholic and often had to be brought home from Chicago bars by her husband. In his autobiography, Songs My Mother Taught Me, Brando expressed sadness when writing about his mother. The anguish that her drinking produced was that she preferred getting drunk to caring for us. Dodie and his father eventually joined Alcoholics Anonymous. Brando harbored far more enmity for his father, stating, "I was his namesake, but nothing I did ever pleased or even interested him. He enjoyed telling me I couldn't do anything right. He had a habit of telling me I would never amount to anything." Brando's parents moved to Evanston, Illinois as his father's work took him to Chicago, but separated when the boy was 11 years old. His mother took the three children to Santa Ana, California, where they lived with her mother. In 1937, Brando's parents reconciled and moved together to Libertyville, Illinois, a small town north of Chicago. In 1939 and 1941 he worked as an usher at the town's only movie theater, the Liberty. Brando, whose childhood nickname was Bud, was a mimic from his youth. He developed an ability to absorb the mannerisms of kids he played with and display them dramatically while staying in character. In the 2007 TCM biopic, Brando, the documentary, childhood friend George England recalls Brando's earliest acting as imitating the cows and horses on the family farm as a way to distract his mother from drinking. His sister Jocelyn Brando was the first to pursue an acting career, going to study at the American Academy of Dramatic Art in New York City. She appeared on Broadway, then films and television. Brando's sister Frances left college in California to study art in New York. Brando had been held back a year in school and was later expelled from Libertyville High School for riding his motorcycle through the corridors. He was sent to Shattuck Military Academy, where his father had studied before him. Brando excelled at theater and did well in the school. In his final year, he was put on probation for being insubordinate to a visiting Army colonel during maneuvers. He was confined to his room, but sneaked into town and was caught. The faculty voted to expel him, though he was supported by the students, who thought expulsion was too harsh. He was invited back for the following year, but decided instead to drop out of high school. Brando worked as a ditch digger as a summer job arranged by his father. He tried to enlist in the Army, but his induction physical revealed that a football injury he had sustained at Shattuck had left him with a trick knee. He was classified as a 4F and not inducted. New York and acting. Brando decided to follow his sisters to New York, studying at the American Theatre Wing Professional School, part of the dramatic workshop of the New School, with influential German director Erwin Piscator. In the 1988 documentary, Marlon Brando, The Wild One, Brando's sister Jocelyn remembered, "He was in a school play and enjoyed it. So he decided he would go to New York and study acting because that was the only thing he had enjoyed." That was when he was 18. In the A&E biography episode on Brando, George England said Brando fell into acting in New York because he was accepted there. He wasn't criticized. It was the first time in his life that he heard good things about himself. Brando was an avid student and proponent of Stella Adler, from whom he learned the techniques of the Stanislavski system. This technique encouraged the actor to explore his own feelings and past experiences to fully realize the character being portrayed. Brando's remarkable insight and sense of realism was evident early on. Adler used to recount that when teaching Brando, she had instructed the class to act like chickens, and added that a nuclear bomb was about to fall on them. Most of the class clucked and ran around wildly, but Brando sat calmly and pretended to lay an egg. Asked by Adler why he had chosen to react this way, he said, "I'm a chicken, what do I know about bombs?" Despite being commonly regarded as a method actor, Brando disagreed. He claimed to have abhorred Lee Strasberg's teachings. "After I had some success, Lee Strasberg tried to take credit for teaching me how to act. He never taught me anything. He would have claimed credit for the sun and the moon if he believed he could get away with it. He was an ambitious, selfish man who exploited the people who attended the actor's studio and tried to project himself as an acting oracle and guru. Some people worshipped him, but I never knew why. I sometimes went to the actor's studio on Saturday mornings because Elia Kazan was teaching, and there were usually a lot of good-looking girls. But Strasberg never taught me acting. Stella did, and later Kazan.